Hello and welcome to the first mini lecture of Module 1 of the MeLDE project. This module explores ways of learning and teaching with technology. The module discusses a series of digital tools, platforms and techniques that can support lesson planning, assessment design, marking and feedback delivery, and can facilitate student learning and engagement. In addition, the module includes hands-on sessions that aim to boost your confidence by not only allowing you to test some of the digital tools and platforms discussed throughout the module, but also providing you with ideas on how to use technology in your lessons. Module 1 of the MeLDE project was designed based on research conducted in secondary schools from 4 European countries. The results of this research have informed the MeLDE framework and the content of all our modules. I realize that some of you may already be confident in using technology and may find some of the topics discussed on this module too easy. But our research shows that over 70% of teachers have difficulties in keeping up with the new technological developments and would like to know more about how to integrate digital technology in all areas of the curriculum. So even if some of the content may not be new to you, I hope that this module will give you at least a few new ideas that you can implement in your classroom. With this in mind, this module was structured around 4 main topics: digital tools and resources, social media and classroom collaboration platforms, digital assessment and feedback tools, and digital curriculum and massive open online courses or MOOCs. This first mini lecture will explore the first topic, digital tools and resources. The aims of the presentation are to explore the use of digital technologies in teaching, understand how students learn with technology, and familiarize yourself with a range of open access digital tools and resources for learning and teaching. We all know that technology changes all the time. As technology evolves, learning and teaching practices are being transformed. Teachers are constantly discovering new ways of using technology to improve student learning and engagement. However, you may feel overwhelmed by the amount of information available out there, or may lack the time to explore all the available resources. So, how do you know where to start? And how do you know which digital tools and devices are the best? This presentation helps you get started with technology whilst providing a clear understanding of why and how to use technology in the classroom in meaningful ways. We will therefore discuss the following: reasons for using digital tools in teaching, types of learning with technology, and open access digital tools and resources for learning and teaching. So let's get started. It goes without saying that digitalization has brought a series of fundamental changes to our lives. A digitally active way of life has also brought new challenges for education. The way technology is being used in the classroom has been the focus of scholarly debates for a long time. In fact, scholars, academics, and educators have different views on whether the use of digital technology in teaching is good or bad for students. You may have your own views on this. However, some have started to concentrate less on the advantages and disadvantages of using technology in teaching and more on what we, the teachers, can achieve with the use of technology. After all, technology is just a tool, and it is meant to support learning and teaching. While the content remains the most important element of your teaching, your role has changed from a traditional knowledge provider to a facilitator that guides students' learning and engages them in problem solving. Regardless of what you think about the usefulness of technology, one thing is for sure: technology is here to stay and is transforming education. Even our classrooms have changed. We now have more technology in our classrooms than ever before. So how can we make the most of it? How can we ensure it offers new learning opportunities? You may want to start using technology in your lessons. Or perhaps you're interested in finding out how you could make the most of the technology that you are already using. Where do you start? Or what do you start with? I believe you should always start by understanding why you want to use technology in your lessons. What is the aim of your lesson? What are your learning outcomes? Once you know your learning outcome, think about what technological tools could support your students to best achieve that outcome. Always do your research. Find out what resources are available within your school. Talk to your colleagues and see what works and what doesn't work. Believe me, this can save you a lot of time. And then test, and test again. Start testing digital devices and online tools and find out what works for you and your students. Technology is not the answer to everything. Don't use it for the sake of using it. Use it only if it adds value to your teaching. Or you could start by exploring your digital capabilities. Digital capabilities are those skills that allow you to live, learn, and work in a digital society. Here's a summary of my digital capabilities, so why not find out yours by clicking on the link on this slide. Another way to get started with technology is by understanding the benefits of using technology in the classroom. Let's review some of these benefits together. Well, some say that technology enriches learning. It provides your students with a different experience. It helps them learn through a medium that they are familiar with. Technology promotes student-centered learning. It empowers teachers to teach skills and not just feed students information. At the same time, technology can boost student collaboration and participation by enabling your students to become content creators and not just content receivers. Technology gives your students a voice, and it particularly gives a voice to those students that would not be heard otherwise. And probably the most important of all is that the use of technology in the classroom can help your students gain digital skills. Can you think of more benefits? I'm sure you can. But choosing the right technology also means understanding how your students learn. According to Diana Laurillard, in order to understand how technology can support learning, it is essential that we first answer the following questions. How do students learn? And how can technology help? So always ask yourself, how can technology enable my students to meet the learning outcomes for this lesson? Diana Laurillard also describes 6 types of learning with technology: acquisition, discussion, investigation, practice, collaboration, and production. You can see how these types of learning translate to the digital world in the following slides. We don't have enough time to explore this right now, but please check out the MeLDE ebook available on the MeLDE platform to find out more about how to understand these types of learning in relation to different kinds of technology. One thing to keep in mind, though, is that these 6 types of learning do not exist in isolation. In fact, the best learning environment combines all these types of learning. On the following slides, I've gathered a list of online resources that I've tested throughout the years and I believe you will find useful. We won't have enough time in this presentation to see how all of them could be used in the classroom, but I hope you will explore each and every one of them after the presentation. I would like, however, to draw your attention on the first one, Learning Designer. Learning Designer is an online tool developed by Diana Laurillard and her team to help teachers plan lessons. The tool helps you understand how your students learn because it's based on the 6 types of learning we've discussed previously in this presentation. You can sign up for free and start planning. Here's an example of a lesson plan I designed with Learning Designer. A good thing to know about Learning Designer is that once you've set up an account, you become part of a community of teachers. So you could also search for and adapt other teachers' lesson plans. This will give you an idea of how others teach with technology. You can explore more online tools and applications on the next slides. I've listed them according to their main functionality, but you may find new ways of using them in your lessons. Remember that these are only a few. As technology is constantly evolving, you may discover new and more exciting digital tools with similar features. Once you've decided on what digital tools you want to use, try not to overdo it. Choose only 1 or 2 that work best for you and your students. This brings us to the end of this presentation. This presentation explored the importance of using digital technology in the classroom. We also explored a variety of popular digital resources, tools, and platforms that you can use in your lessons. Given the limited time and space, it is of course impossible to explore all the digital tools available out there. This presentation explored only a few just to get you started. It is now up to you to continue finding the right digital tools for you and your students. Got any questions? Please check out the MeLDE platform and MeLDE website. Thank you for listening, and please join me in the next presentation.